That's why if you know you can work on it, it's better to work on it and agree to work on it and move ahead. But if you know you can never agree with it, it's better you don't go along with it and just make a decision right there. It works that way. But also, let me also put this in place. There are people who never even love one another. But you see somebody who just say, okay, I believe God said it is you I should marry. I say, I don't love you. I say, well, no problem, that's my business, you keep going. And she will go round all over the years, 2, 3, 4 years, and come back again to the same man that she said I never loved. So when they now got married, you now see that, look, they cannot do without one another. God has a way of working things out. So we cannot just put God in a straight jacket alone. It doesn't work that way. So we need to have that at the back of our mind also whenever we discuss issues like this, especially in the Christendom. We need to understand that.
Mommy and Kaya, I'll come to you in a bit. I just want to stay with Pastor for,
yes,
for a little bit.
Before you finish with Pastor, I just want you to clarify, because I can see you doing your hand like this, that the level of the spiritual, this one, and the level of this. I don't know, maybe you're trying to measure the level, maybe the man is there or the woman is there and the lady is there. I don't think the level affects the marriage, as long as you are both children of God. You are born. The fact that you are born again 5 years ago and she is just being born again 3 months does not mean you cannot marry, that the level is different, so you cannot go together, you are not compatible. She's going to grow as long as the Holy Spirit is there, as long as he's truly born again. I don't think the level is important. I want Pastor to clarify that.
No, I think we better use the word maturity. If you look at maturity, if you look at it from a maturity point of view, you may say that you will not necessarily have to marry this one. I know cases that the fellow was counseled by the fellow who eventually married her. You know, because they sent to you for counseling, now decide that this lady is beautiful, I don't think I should let her go. Cancel it to my house. It has happened before, now it's not new. You see, but the lady might feel cheated over time. That's why we need to be very careful where the level of spirituality is too far apart. She might feel cheated all the days of her life. That, look, why do I have to go and get married to this fellow? And I tell you one thing, and this one is very, very important. A lady just came to me one day, and she said, that lady is married now to somebody else. She came to me one day, said, okay, my mother knows it, my father knows it, that the fellow I'm going to marry is a Christian, is a general overseer of a particular mission. Then suddenly one day we were just discussing, because she was young when she got to talk to this fellow, and that one probably started counseling her, and now say, okay, potential wife of a general overseer. And then she just said to me that there was a day the man slapped me. I said, let me listen to you. He did what? He slapped you. Say you're not going to get married to that fellow, even if he's a general overseer. I said, no. Because as at that time, the man was playing on the fact that, look, we are both Christian, I have counseled you, and therefore you are meant for me, that kind of a thing. Though they are both Christians. But then the man is using the advantage of the fact that he's called the general overseer. Today the lady is happily married somewhere else. And the other general overseer, I don't know whatever is happening to him. And I don't want to know, because as far as I'm concerned, no matter what spiritual level you are, you shouldn't do that, but the man has used spirituality to cover up. And the lady would not even see that until that day I came in and said, look, you are not going to get married to that fool. I put my feet down and said, you are not. Go and tell your mother that I said so. And tell your father that I said so. And this is a spiritual authority I'm going to exercise over you. Today, whenever she hears about me, she will move and she will run, say that I must do whatever this man says I should do. Why am I bringing this point? That is to say, there is great maturity differences. And when this fellow is too far away and this one is just coming in as a Christian, we have to be very careful how you marry them together with themselves, how you join them together. There is tendency for this other one to lord over the smaller one and say, the Lord said to me. There will always be the Lord said to me, which will not be true. So we need to be very careful about that. That's all I can say in that. God if they have the spirit of God, there is nothing that says they should not get married. But maturity level may not carry so much of a great percentage, but then is equally important.
Okay. Pastor, I want to talk about sex a little bit.
Yeah.
There are dangers in having premarital sex. There are dangers in having to have had sex before marriage. Some of those dangers, they are obvious: unplanned pregnancy, trying to abort and die in that process,
AIDS,
sexually transmitted diseases. But those dangers now, they can be well managed. I mean, we see it in our society today that those dangers can be well managed and all that stuff. But Pastor, can you really tell me and a lot of folks here, what is the spiritual danger, if it is, or what is like the main danger in having premarital sex?
Okay, let us go back again to genesis of all this stuff. What is marriage? Do you know that marriage is not actually when you go to the altar? That is just a display of paraphernalia of whatever you want people to see. Marriage in excess is actually when you meet together. Hello? And by that definition, it tells me that quite a lot of people in our society are married to different men. You may not accept, but I will explain to you. He's rightly said it now. STD, sexually transmitted diseases, you can cover it up. You can prevent it. You can just go around it. Unexpected or unwanted pregnancy, you can work it out. Even if there are pregnancies there, you can go back to the doctor and take care of it. Okay? And you can then say, okay, let us just have fun all around. But let me quickly tell you that the more you have fun, the more you are distributing your life to people, and the more you are getting hooked on to them. How do I know? My Bible tells me, if you join yourself to an harlot, you become what? One body with that harlot. So if Mrs. A here, or Miss A, for example, decide to join to Mr. A somewhere there, you are married to that man. Even though you have not gone to the altar. You decide to leave the other one and go to the other man. You are married to that man. You are joining yourself. The Bible now says, how can you join the temple of God? Are you getting my... You know, I'm not talking about diseases. If anybody catches this, is it on my body? It's on his body. If anybody gets an unwanted pregnancy, who carries it? It is she that carries it, and the man that carries the liability. If the man is able to push it, if the lady is able to push it on you, those are just minor things to me. But it says to me that if I join myself, the body of God, so that lady, I am joining myself and going to that friend. God will just withdraw if God is not in it. If you decide to join to an harlot, then you become one body with an harlot. If you decide to join with another man's wife in adultery, you become one, together with who? With that man. But if you decided also, that's why I like the scripture. He said, when you join yourself unto God, you become one spirit with God. He didn't say one flesh. He didn't say one flesh. So anytime you go about joining yourself with another man or another lady, you are only uniting yourself to them. No wonder when a lot of people get into their real marriage, they have problems. You know why? The devil knows how to enforce so many husbands that you have all around town and say, look, you don't belong to this man alone. You belong to everybody. So all of them must share you. If you are unfortunate that one of those men you have slept with carries a spiritual problem in the kingdom of darkness, you become one with that man. If the man flies about in the night, what happens to that woman? It's not assistant. That lady has to fly together with the man. That's the way it works. So if that fellow it's not a matter of disease. It's not a matter of unwanted pregnancy. How many people can take care of that one without knowledge of pastors or anybody? But what you have done to yourself will prevent the prayers of pastors to work for you. It will prevent any miracle from happening in your life. If there is any miracle happening in your life, I can tell you who is doing that miracle. It's not a miracle, it's a magic. Because God